bit about you're dealing with Dylan Gabriel during the off season as you prepared for the fall. What kind of development have you seen over the first 3 weeks of his performance so far?
He's done a really good job, one, playing within the system, how we're asking him to do so, but also extending plays, moving on to a second, third, fourth read. Getting guys out of bad plays have been a huge part of what we've asked him to do. He started to take the steps. You could see him the other night directing his protection, sliding the line, getting himself protected. All those things that allow us to play even faster, that allow us to put more on him and just call it and let him get us right. It's been big time for us so far this year.
Coach, what's it been like seeing McKenzie Milton make his comeback? We've seen a little hints here and there on social media. Looks like he's, maybe running with the scout team. Where is he, and what's it been like just kind of seeing him, make his comeback?
It's incredible to watch him. It gives you a smile every single day he jogs on the field with a helmet and shoulder pads. Just from that standpoint of it, regardless of anything else, it's just fun to see him like that again. His energy is through the roof. You can tell, like, for someone that truly understands what a blessing it is just to be on the field is that guy. And it's absolutely contagious for everybody around him. He brings the whole energy of the practice up wherever he is, wherever he's around. It's truly been special to see that happen.
Coach, coming back from that Tulsa loss, what have you seen from Dylan Gabriel during the bye and this week? As far as his demeanor, where's his focus at? What have you seen from him coming back from this loss?
Dylan is a very prideful guy. He's extremely competitive. So for us, the bye came at a good time. But for him, he's just itching to get back out there on the field. He was ready to go play this Saturday if we're ready to do that. But he wants to get back out there on the field. He's dedicated, not pressing, not stressing, nothing like that. But okay, I need to go bounce back because just his competitive nature.
Yeah, in that game against Tulsa, there was a lot of pressure on Dylan. What did you think of how he handled that and how he was able maybe to make things kind of out of nothing when things broke down?
Yeah, that's in reference to the first question you were asking. His ability to extend plays right now is really second to none. He's made a bunch of huge play for us. Sometimes when it's pressure, sometimes when they just drop 8, there's just nobody open, and he's extending plays and then dropping it down, getting to his back, getting to third, fourth reads, getting to guys that aren't even really in the read progression. Then he scrambles, makes a play, and gets the ball out of his hand. He's been doing that since week 1. That's been one of the biggest jumps of his game. Is it really just comes from a confidence standpoint of just cutting it loose and having if it breaks down, it's not a big deal. I'll get us out of it. I'll get us in the right spot, and I'll make a throw. And he's doing that consistently without even thinking about it right now. That's the fun part to watch with him.
Coach, back to McKenzie a little bit. I guess I don't know how long he's been practicing. It's been a couple of weeks or whenever that was. Do you kind of remember that first day back, what that was like, and how the players reacted, and kind of what that moment was like when he put on the pads and when really was practicing on the field for the first time?
Yeah, so he's been out there with us. Everyone's seen him. He's always around, so it wasn't new to see him. But it was when he first came out with the shoulder pads and helmet, and it wasn't, we all take the field separately, when we initially go out there for pre-practice. So it was fun to see, as people recognize, wait a minute, that's the 10 red jersey back out there. You know what I mean? That was everyone was all right. You know what I mean? It was fun. It was a lot of guys, whether they've played with them or they're new and they've never actually even played a snap with the guy, were ecstatic to see that dude back out on the field, and he's pitching the ball around to him and all that type of stuff. And it's fun even for the young guys to see.
Coach, Dylan always wants to put the blame on himself when things go wrong. He put the blame on himself after the game for the false starts. He put the blame on himself for the offensive struggles in the second half against Tulsa. But when you guys looked at the game film together, where was some of that blame placed as far as him? What could he have done better? What should he have done better? What did you really talk about that game where maybe he fell short?
First of all, as we all know, right, it never falls on one person. When we lose, not to quote an old cliche, but it's the ultimate team sport. You know what I mean? There's times when you have guys open and maybe he didn't have time. Then there's guys not open, we do have time. And then there's guys open and we have time and his eyes aren't in the right place. You know what I mean? So there's somebody, we all got to take ownership. We got to get him in the right calls. We got to get him in the right plays. I got to give him the right looks this week in practice to make sure that when it's not the look we're expecting, he knows where to get to. Where's his check down? Where's my next guy? So it never falls on one person. But I'm not going to say there was anything like, oh, if he only did this, we would have been better. It wasn't a situation like that. It was just as a whole, as an offensive unit, we weren't as crisp as we needed to be Saturday night against a very good defensive football team.
Joey, along those lines, when you look at the false start penalties as a quarterback specifically, how much does that fall on you a little bit to make sure everyone's set? And is there anything you could do as a quarterback maybe to make sure guys are ready to go before the ball is snapped?
Yeah, that's the pre-snap stuff. If there's guys moving around, that's, that would be something on us where we need to make sure every guy's set, everyone's where they need to be. And that just comes from playing within yourself. It's not like a drill. It's not something that you need to okay, just do this. It's just having that calmness when things feel like they're starting to go a little bit array. Okay, calm. What do I need to do? My receiver set. Let's go. It's really just that more than anything else. It's nothing like, oh my, what if this happens? How do we do this? It's just, all right, let's calm down. We all know what to do. We know how to get the ball off on time, and let's do it. Let's calm down. Let's play ball. And that's really what it came down to.
Coach, what are your expectations of Memphis on Saturday? What do you expect to see from them on defense?
First thing that pops out on tape is they play hard. They fly around and they'll hit you. Just like always, right? Whenever UCF and Memphis plays, it's physical, it's 4 quarters, it's 60 minutes, and the two teams are knocking each other around for the entire game. So we better be prepared to come out and have a physical, mental, tough game and get after these guys, or they will try to take the fight to you first. And they are going to come out and try to fly around and knock ball carriers around. It's going to be a very physical game on Saturday.
Joe, what have you guys seen from outside of Dylan, the rest of the quarterback room? Guys like Quad, Parker, what have they been able to do over the first 3 weeks or so of the season?
Yeah, it's always the difficult part coming from that role when you go from fall camp to season where the starter now gets the lion's share of the reps. It's less split, right down the middle like it is in spring and fall. But they've done a great job pushing, understanding the game plan. The hardest thing to do is to keep preparing like you are going to be the guy that takes the field on the first snap, even though you're not going to be, and everybody knows you're not going to be, but you still got to prepare that way because snap 2, it could be you. And that's real. You see it every year. It happens to someone. It happens to some team every single year. You don't wish it, but it's going to. That's the nature of what we do. So they've both done a great job of making sure that if their number is called and when their number is called, that they'll know how to go in and operate at a high level.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you back tomorrow with Coach Eichel.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.